The moon hung high above the quiet street, its silver glow spilling through the cracked window pane and landing softly on the wooden floor. I sat there, staring at it through a blur of tears. My chest felt hollow, like someone had scooped, held everything inside me and left. Nothing but echoes of pain. Why me? I whispered, my voice barely more than a breath. I took a few steps backward, my bare feet brushing against the cold floor. The dim light from the window caught the corner of a crumpled piece of paper lying beside my bed, the quit notice. My stomach twisted just looking at it. Rent was overdue again. My landlord had finally lost patience. And now in 3 days, I'd have nowhere to go. I sank down on the edge of my bed, the mattress creaking under my weight. My fingers trembled as I reached for the letter, tracing the harsh black letters printed across it. I really don't know what to do at this point, I muttered to myself. The truth was, I was completely lost. It had been 3 years since I'd left my father's house. 3 long, stubborn years. I thought I could survive on my own. Build a life far away from him. Far away from the man I blamed for my mother's death. But just 2 weeks ago, the phone rang. "Your father has passed," the voice had said flatly. Those words had knocked the air out of me. I hadn't spoken to him in years. I didn't even know what he looked like anymore. Still, when I hung up, my heart ached in a way I couldn't understand. I told myself I wouldn't cry. But that was a lie. The truth was, my father and I were never close after Mom died. I was 13 when it happened, and from that moment, I couldn't even look him in the eye. Something inside me believed he had something to do with her death. Maybe not directly, but in some twisted, emotional way. I blamed him for the way he shut her out, for the fights that filled the house at night, for her crying behind closed doors. When she was gone, all that grief curdled into hatred. He tried to reach out at first. Calls, letters, even money. I ignored them all, and eventually he stopped trying. I think he believed I'd come crawling back once the world showed me how cruel it could be. Maybe he was right. Life out here had hit me hard. Still, I couldn't make myself go back. My father was a rich man, one of those quiet, powerful types people respected, but never truly knew. He never remarried after my mother's death. He lived alone in that enormous, empty house, surrounded by silence and the ghosts of everything he'd lost. I dropped the letter and let out a shaky sigh. Shouldn't it be best to go back home? I asked the dark room. After all, the beast is dead, and I'm his only child. Words hung in the air, heavy and strange. It felt wrong, calling him the beast now that he was gone. But forgiveness wasn't something that came easily to me. I lay back on my bed, staring at the ceiling as the moonlight shifted slowly across it. The room smelled faintly of dust and old fabric, the scent of things that had stayed too long. I pressed my palms against my eyes, trying to stop the tears from coming, but it was useless. They spilled anyway, sliding down my temples and soaking into the pillow. "I never knew life could be this hard," I whispered. My mind wandered back to childhood. The sound of my mother's laughter drifting through the kitchen, the warm smell of her perfume, the way she'd hum while stirring a pot of soup. Those memories had faded over the years like photographs left too long in the sun. All that remained was a blur, her voice, her warmth, and the echo of the last argument she had with my father before everything fell apart. Sometimes, I wondered if I'd ever misunderstood him. Maybe my father wasn't a monster, just a broken man who didn't know how to love anymore. But that thought always vanished as quickly as it came. The clock on the nightstand ticked loudly, marking the passing seconds. I closed my eyes, trying to shut out the sound, but my thoughts wouldn't stop. The quit notice, the funeral, the silence that followed his death. I had nowhere left to go. And then a new thought crept in, quiet, uninvited, but strangely comforting. What if I went back? Not because I forgave him, not because I missed him, but because maybe, just maybe, I could find answers. Maybe that old house still held something. Something unfinished. I turned on my side, staring at the faint shadow of the moon on the floor. Home, I said softly. The word felt foreign on my tongue. The night stretched endlessly outside my window. Somewhere in the distance, a dog barked, and then silence swallowed the sound again. I hugged my pillow, eyes open, heart heavy. Tomorrow I'd pack my things. Tomorrow I'd go back to the house I swore I'd never step into again. I didn't know it yet, but that decision, made in the loneliness of a dim room under a full moon, would change everything.